Welcome back to the Advanced Programming Lab 6 Part 2. Okay, so in the Part 2, we will create the main application payroll system test. So let's restart with the Eclipse now. Okay, so we will create the main class, which is the payroll system test. Okay, so just wait for a while, and in this part, I will continue to the Lab 7, which we will introduce about interface. All right. Okay, so we continue to this Lab 6. We will add new class. So this class is called payroll system test, and this will include the public static void main. Okay, will include the main method. Right, so what we need to do is we need to follow this. So we will create this employee object. Okay, the subclasses employee object. So the first one, let me create a salary employee. Okay, so equal to new salary employee. So this you need to pass in the data. Okay, the social security number and also the base salary, and then we have the hourly. Okay, hourly employee, go to new hourly employee, and this we need to pass in the first name, last name, and also the social security number, and then the hourly rate, and also the total the works hour. Okay, so it's Karen, and then Karen price. The social security number is this 16.75 and then 40. Okay, and then we have the commission employee. Okay, so we need to pass in John's, and we need to pass in the social security number again. Then we need to pass in their sales and also their commission rate, right? Commission base plus commission employee. Okay, so it will pass in the Bob, Lewis, and then okay, then we'll pass 0.04 and also 300. All right. So what we need to do next, what is our next task? We need to manipulate this object non-polymorphically, where the variable of each object own type. Okay, so this will, what we will do, Okay, is we'll proceed one by one. So let me print out something, a title. So this will be employees. It proceed. Proceed individually. Okay. So system.out.print f. Okay, so we need to have this function printf. Okay, print format. Okay. Right, so all right. So what we will have is salary employee, and then we will pass in how much they earn, and then only we will dot earning. Okay, so we will proceed individually, but most of all of them are same, so I will copy and paste, just change the object. Okay. Okay, so this is proceed individually. Okay, and then the third task, what we need to do, we're going to create an array of the employee variable. So employee array employees equal to new employee array 4. Okay, so we'll initialize the array with the employees. Okay, so we initialize it. Initialize the array with the employee. So employees 0 equal to salary employee. Okay, I'm going to copy this and change the data. 1, 2, and 3. So hourly commission okay, and the last one is base plus okay, so we got this array already. And when we got array, so we're going to process the object polymorphically using the array of employee. While processing the object polymorphically, increase the base salary of the object of base plus commission employee by 10%. Okay, this is where I said we're using the instance of to check whether this object is belong to this subclass or not. Okay, so we are going to use the instance of to compare between the class. Okay, you can see here for employee. Okay, for this employee, we pass the employees data, this array, into this current employee, and it is type of employee. So we're going to system out the print line of the current employee. This is like to a title. Then we are going to check whether this first current employee, because we save it to the current employee already, is the instance of base plus commission employee. So it's going to determine whether the element is base plus commission employee or not. So you will going to check this object is whether belong to this subclass or not. Okay, and then you will downcast the employee reference to the base plus commission employee reference. So how you downcast it? So we will call the subclass base plus commission employee. We declare this called the subclass, and variable name is equal to employee equal to, okay, now we are downcast. Okay, we downcast by using this format. So we pass in the base plus commission employee, and then we pass in the current employee. So the current employee of it will be downcast to this variable employee, and it is type of base plus commission employee. So we will set it the employee.set base salary equal to 1.1 because it increased 10% of its base salary. Alright, so we need to downcast it because all of this is the current employee. Okay, we need to downclass it. The current employee is the type of employee. Okay, it's a type of employee. So we need to downcast it to the base plus commission employee. Alright, only we're able to set the base salary increase 10%. So and then we print it out. Okay, and how much they earn. Right, so let me continue with this first. Okay, this is polymorphically. We process it all of the employee using the abstract employee class. Alright, so let me continue. So we make a title system.out.println. This employees proceed polymorphically. Alright, and system.out.println. okay, this. So we're going to have what? We're going to have the for loop. So this for loop will save all the employees data from the array into this employee type. Okay, and save it into the name of current employee. Okay, so now all the employees will be cast back to the abstract class. All the current employee is type of employee, right? The abstract class of the employee, right? That's why we need downcast later on. Println, we will println the current employee. Okay, this will print out their information already. Okay, and then you will check if the current employee is the instance of the base plus commissions. Base plus commission employee, then only it will downcast it to the base plus commission employee. Okay, we downcast it the current employee to our base plus commission employee, and then you will set the base salary of the employee. Base salary, then we will set the 1 times 10 times employee dot get base salary. Okay, then we will print out something. What we will print, so we will print the new base salary with 10% increase is, okay, how much is it? Okay, so we will get an employee dot get base salary. Right, so we add the if. Then inside the for loop we will do another printing, which is will print out the how much they earn. Okay, earn okay, so this will print out how much they earn. Earning, so we'll end for. Okay, so this is using the polymorphism, so all the whatever type of the employee, the subclass will be cast back. Okay, cast up to the general abstract general employee abstract class first. Okay, and then in order for us to print out what is the next thing, so then get a class name for each object in the employee array by using the method get class. So we're going to get what kind of the employee is from inside this array. Okay, so we're going to do another for loop, int equal to 0, and then you will have j less than employees dot, okay, going to get the how many index in, I mean how many element inside the array. Okay, the index inside the array, you use the dot length, then you use j plus plus. Okay, so we got the system dot out dot printf again, employee. Okay, employee, the number is a what kind of employee, so we got a string, and then backslash n. Okay, so we will get the employees j, we'll pass in the j, and then we'll get class dot get name. Right, so we are done with this. Okay, so you can save it and let me try to run it. Conversion I util unknown formatter conversion exception conversion I. What, where is it? This one, line 34, new base array with 10% increase is Oh, I think because of that percentage, so it have some problem. So let me see. Yes, it should be have 2% here. If you only single percentage, it can't find what is it means, so it will give you exception. Okay, it's still the same. Oh, line 41. What is this happen? System.out.printf employee. Okay, with the digit is a what kind of is a string? Oh, okay, we are lack of this, the digit. Okay, the digit J. Okay, so now we can run again. Okay, you have no error now. So you can compare the output here with our output. Okay, it should be the same. Employee proceed individually. Okay, John Smith, so the 800. Okay, how much they earn is 840, 670, 10,600, 300, 500, both levels. Okay, and then we have John Smith. Okay, is salary employed, hourly employed, commission and base plus commission, correct? 530 and this 330. Okay, so we get the same output as what from the exercise state. So yes, we are done with this payroll system with the polymorphism. All right, but now let me continue with the lab 7. Okay, look at the lab 7. The company got more requirement now, so we're going to re-examine the payroll system construct in exercise 10a, which is in our lab 6. Okay, here is means of lab 6. Suppose that a company involved wish to perform several accounting operation in a single account payable application. So it's going to calculate the earning that must be paid to each employee. It's going to calculate the payment due on each of several invoice, such as the bill for good purchase. Then both of the operation have to do with obtaining some kind of payment amount. For an employee, the payment refer to the employee earning. For an invoice, the payment refer to the total cost of the good listed on invoice. So now, in lab 7, we are introduced about the interface. So the interface offer a capability requiring that unrelated class implement a set of common method. Okay, you can see the employee and invoice is unrelated, but they can using the interface called payable, because these two things they have to pay. They have a pay. Invoice you need to pay, and then employee you need to pay. Okay, so we can use the interface. Okay, you can see these two are not related at all, but we can use the interface, payable interface. So to cover this invoice and employee, because both of them are payable. Okay, so interface they are offer a capability requiring the unrelated classes. Okay, invoice and employee are unrelated classes. Implement a set of commons method. Okay, allow me to repeat that one. And then the interface define and standardize the way in which things such as people and system can interact with one another. Okay, so interface define and standardize the way how the thing can interact with each other. So for example, the control on the radio, they serve an interface between the radio user and the radio internal component. So you can see the radio, we have the certain performance, such as we can change the station, adjust the volume, we can choose between the AM and also the FM. So but different radio may implement the control in different way. For example, in some design, to on a radio you use a push button. To on radio you maybe use the voice command or how. So they use the different way, different control, but they still doing the same thing. The interface provide the same thing. They still on. You can see they, no matter what way they're using, they still order to on the radio. So the interface specify what operation a radio must permit user to perform, but does not specify how the operation are performed. Okay, we only tell the radio, okay, you can on and off, but we does not tell radio, oh, you must on using this way. Okay, so this is called interface. So a Java interface describes a set of methods that can be called on an object. Okay, so an interface declaration begins with the keywords interface. Okay, later on when we implement, you can see when we create the interface abstract class, you need to start with the interface keywords. Okay, so interface only contain the constant and also the abstract method. Okay, all interface member must be public. Alright, and also the interface may not specify any implementation detail. Interface, they do not, because I say you only know, okay, I want to on and off, but the detail how it on and off, we does not care. So the interface may not specify any implementation details, such as the concrete method declaration. Okay, we won't have any method declaration or any instant variable. So all the methods declared in an interface are implicitly public abstract method. Okay, implicitly public abstract method, all the methods that are declared in an interface. So all few are implicitly public static and final. Alright. So what we have next, to use an interface, a concrete class must satisfy that is implement the interface. Last time we are using extend, right? But this time we want to use the interface. We need to use the implement, a concrete class that implement what kind of the interface. Okay, so a class that does not implement all the method of the interface is an abstract class and must be declared abstract. Okay, so when we implementing an interface, it's like signing a contract with the compiler that state, I will declare that all the methods specified by the interface, or I will declare my class abstract. Okay, when let's say we got 10 methods, okay, declared in the interface, but we only use 5, then we need to declare that class as an abstract class. But if we use the 10 method, then yes, it is a concrete class. Okay, so an interface is often used when disparate the class. Okay, when there is unrelated class need to share the common method and also the constant. Okay, so two different class. You can see the invoice and also the employee. They share the common method called payable. Okay, and the constant inside the payable. Alright, so now we will creating and using the interface, okay, for our system, okay, that we have created last time, the employee, but now we are going to using interface. Okay, Java, and here is the rules. Okay, Java does not allow subclass to inherit more than one superclass. You cannot inherit 2 superclass, like you cannot do 2 times extend, but you can implement as many interface as it need. Okay, you extend 1 superclass, but you implement a lot of interface. This is allowed. Okay, but you cannot extend many superclass but implement and then implement. Okay, this is not allowed. Okay, so let me continue to look at the invoice class. So you're going to construct the payable interface class in the payable Java file. So the payable interface file only has one method. Okay, only has one method, get payable amount with no arguments and return a double value. So you should leave the method blank without implementation as it is an interface. So the detail of a method should be implemented by any other class that implement the interface. Right, so in the task 1, we are going to create a payable interface. And inside, we got one method with no argument and return a double value. So the concrete class will implement this payable interface. All right. So let's we continue to the what we call that, the Eclipse, to code it out. It is still enhanced version of the lab 6, so we'll use back the lab 6. So now let me create an interface. Okay, so we create an interface, proper interface, and this interface called payable, right? Okay, and inside this payable, it will have a method that return double, and the name is called get payment amount. Okay, so this will calculate the payment. Okay, calculate the payment for either employee or for the invoice. And remember, in interface there is no implementation. All right. Okay, now let me continue to look at this. What is the task 2 we're going to do? So we're going to construct the invoice class in the invoice.java file. It should implement the payable interface and implement the get payable amount method. So the amount formula should be quantity times price, class displayed as below. So we should have an invoice class, and we have the part number, part description, quantity, and price price per item. And then the constructor will take in for how many? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll take in 4 arguments. Okay, and then we have all the setter and getter. Then we'll override this get payment amount. Okay, we will do this payment amount. We will override it. Okay, let me see. And also the toString, we'll override the toString as well. Okay, so let me do this task 2. So invoice.java file, let me have this new class invoice. Okay, so we have the property class invoice that not extend, is implements payable. Okay, when we use extend is because, okay, these two classes that is related. Okay, like just now, salary employee and also the base the commission employee, both of them is a employee, so we use the extend inheritance. But now invoice and also the item, the invoice, and also the employee, they are two different class. Okay, so we are going to use the implement, so we use the interface. Okay, because these two things are payable, so we have an interface, okay, to implement this payable. Right, so let me define the all the variable first. Okay, we have the parts number, and then we have the parts description, and then we have the integer quantity, and then we have the double price per item, right? Okay, and then we're going to have constructor that taking the 4 argument. Okay, part, and then we have the description, and then we have the integer of the quantity, we call it count, is okay, and then we have the doubles for the price. Okay, so the part number equal to part, and then we have the part description equal to description. Okay, now we're using the set quantity and also the where we use the setter and getter is more security. Okay, we have the high security because we not access it directly. We access it using the accessor. And why we use the setter here is because we're going to validate and store the quantity. So we are not going to validate here, but we will validate it in the setter. So we validate it first, only we store it. All right. Same for the price. Okay, set price per item. Price. Okay. All right. Okay. So now we are going to have setter and getter. Okay, we're going to have the setter and getter. All right. So now let me do the setter and getter. So go to source, generate getter and setter for 4 of them. Okay, so the get part number, return the part number, and we have the set part number. Okay, get restrictions, return the restrictions, and then we have the quantity. We need to check it. Okay, so this setter, we need to have a condition check. Quantity more than or equal to 0, then only we set it, or else we will throw the new illegal argument exception. Okay, quantity must be more than or equal 0. Okay, then we have to get quantity, and for the set price is the same thing. I would like to copy this, but we need to change a bit. Okay, we need to change this, and then the price. Okay, and then the price must be more than or equal 0, and then get the price. Since we are implement the payable, right? That's why we need to, you can see we still get an error because we haven't override the payable, the gap payment amount, and also the we haven't override that. So we're going to override this, the gap payment amount. Right, so what we will return, as it said, it will return the quantity times the payment amount, right? Okay, and the other one we need to override the toString, okay, to print out our own message. So this will return a string, toString. So what we will return? So we will return string.format. Okay, so it's a bit a lot of thing to. Okay, and then we will have. Okay, this is the format that we need. Okay. Okay, this is for quantity. Okay, this is about amount. Okay. So what we need, the first one, the first string we will pass in invoice, and then get quantity, and then we will have the price per item. Okay, and then what we will have next, we will have the price per item. Oh no, we need the part number first, not the price, the part number, sorry. We need the part number, and then get part number, and you need to get the part description. Okay, and then the next thing, you're going to get the, what are you going to get? Okay, my fault. You need this at here. Okay, get part description, and then we need a quantity. Okay, and then the next thing that we want is to get the quantity. Okay, and then we going to have the price per item. Okay, so you get the price per item, price. Okay, so all of these are done. Okay, we got these two already. So we are done with the invoice.java. So what should we do next? We need to refer to the employee class that you have created in the employee.java file in previous exercise. Modify the code so it implements the payable interface, and delete the earning abstract methods, as we are not going to implement the get payable amount method here. So the employee remain as a abstract class. Right, so we are going to delete the earning abstract method. Okay, so we are going to delete this public abstract double, because we are implement the payable. Right, so we are going to implement the payable. That's why we need we don't need that one. Okay, let me continue. We are implement payable, so we need to remove this abstract earning. So we got the right, we remove this, but remember, we not implement the payable method. Okay, we not implement the payable method. Oh, sorry, not implement here. Sorry, it's implement here. Yeah. Okay, because we are not implement the method of the get payment amount here. That's why we need to keep this class as an abstract. As I said, if we are not implement the method, you need to keep the class abstract. Okay. So now let we modify. You can see we get all these error already. Okay, let we modify the salary employee first. Okay, salary employee, because we are remove this. We are remove the what we call that, the calculate earning. So we implement this, we implement the get payment amount. Okay, because the employee is implement that, so we are going to implement this get payment amount. So what we will have, we will return the get weekly salary. So this is the same. Okay, so the calculate earning, we will implement the interface payable method that was abstract in the superclass employee. So we are going to implement at here. Okay, because we are not implement in the we are not implement in the employee superclass, so we implement here the get payment amount. Then so object of any subclass of a class that implement an interface can be also thought as object of the interface type. So this salary employee is an object of the interface type as well, so it's a payable type as well. Okay, thus as we can assign the reference of the salary employee object to a superclass employee, so we can assign the reference of the salary employee object to an interface payable variable. Okay, we can assign it to a superclass employee. We can reference, okay, the salary employee object to an interface payable variable. So the invoice implements the payable, so an invoice object also is a payable object. All right. So next, because we are testing here, so we need to actually implement everything here. So we need to, you need to change everything here. Okay, let me change everything here. Okay, so the payroll system also. Okay, what I have changed is inside here, this one, the get payment amount. So the super class is the base, the commission employee. So the commission employee, the get payment amount is still the same. You will get the commission rates times the growth rate, right? So the payroll system test get the error is because of all these. We should get to get payment amount, then it will be fine. Okay, so let me try back this payroll system. You can see actually it's work, right? But now we are not going to test this. We are going to test on our invoice and also the newly interface with the salary employee. Okay, let me do that. We got a new class to test to do this test, so we call it payable interface test. Okay, payable interface test static void main. Okay, finish. So this class is going to test on the payable. Okay, so we have a payable item, the payable array, I mean. So we have the payable objects. Remember, just now we said the invoice is the payable object. The salary employee or the commission employee, all this is also the payable object, right? Okay, so we have the payable objects, okay, equal to new payable. Okay, let's say we got 6. Okay, we try it. So the payable object 0 is equal to new invoice. Okay, and the invoice number 01234, and then we got, maybe this is a chair, and then we buy 2 of the chair and the price is 400. And then maybe we got the payable object 1 is another invoice. Okay, and the number is 88888, and this is what we buy. Let's say we buy a lamp. Okay, and the quantity is 5 and the price 120. And let's say we got another payable object, new commission employee. Okay, and the name is done. And then we, okay, the commission employee, we need to pass in what? The SSN, the sales, and the rate. Okay, let me go back to here, the payroll system test. So the commission employee, we will have this. Okay, that's a 777-888-99. Okay, then let's got 10,000 and it's 0.06, right? Okay, and then we got another payable item equal to new salaried employee. So the name is John Smith. Okay, and then 800. We make it 1,008. Okay, one more. Let's see, we got 5 only. We got what? Let's do the weekly. Okay, new what we have, the hourly, not weekly, the hourly. Okay, and then now we are going to test it. So system.out.println. So you need to pay the invoice and employees proceed. Polymorphically. Okay, so now for the payable object, okay, we cast it to the payable, current payable, and we have the payable objects. Okay, so system.out.printf. So what we will have, we have the first string, and then we got the new line, and then the second string. Okay, and then this we got right. So what we will have, so you will get the current payable, right? Current payable dot to string. Okay, so the payable to string, we got a to string, right? Okay, the payable, the current payable, we got invoice to string, right? Okay, the to string, it will print out this. and then we got the employees. Also we got the to string, so it will help you to print accordingly. Okay, and then we have this payment due. Okay, and then current payable dot get payment amount. Okay, so this is the payable interface test. Let me run it. Oops, illegal format. Okay, system.out.printf. We got this /n as got to f /n. Then we have the current payable dot to string. Then we got the payment due, and also we got a current payable get payment amount. Okay, because of I know what is happened because of some of the format problem for the digit. Okay, the digits from some of the so let me comment out these two. Sorry, we try on the salary employee first. Let me see whether it's able to run. Oh, okay, it's not able to run. We got a digit here, current payable amount. Okay, it should be able to print now. Alright, let me see what is happened here. Okay, for payable, current payable, payables objects. So you will get these payable objects. It should be able to print it out now. Alright, let me check on it and we will continue to recheck the code again why we can't print it. I'm so sorry because of the format here get a problem. Is invoice and then continue with a part number, so you need to remove this invoice part number and then get part number, get part descriptions, then you continue by the quantity, get quantity, price per item, and then price, get price per item. So you save these again, the invoice. Okay, go to the invoice class and change, remove this. All right, and then look at this. Let me try again. Oops, seems like it's more error. Get quantity times get payment amount, these have some issue. It return the double get pay amount, get quantity times get price per item, get price per item, get quantity. Okay, seems like it have more issue now. Let me try again later on. All right, let me check the code again what is happening. Found out another error. This is not get payment amount, it should be get price per item, right? Yeah, okay, let me try again. Okay, now it's done. So we have the invoice, part number 01234, quantity 2, price per item is 400, payment due 800. Alright, you can see 600. 5 times 120, 600. And you need to pay character for payment is 600. And then we got a John Smith, you need to pay 1008, and you need to pay current price 670, right? So this is about the interface. So you can see both of them are different, okay, but both of them need to count the amount. So we implement the interface to put these two different class together, so they can implement the interface. Okay, so yep, this is about the lab 7. Right, so we are done with lab 7. We're modifying the class of employee to implement the interface. Right, okay, so that's all for the part 2 of the lab 7. Alright, so we are done with lab 7. In the next recording, we will look at the lab 8. Lab 8, we will look at how we process a text file. Okay, how we process a file. So we are going to look at the file processing. Right, thank you for watching for the lab 7 part 2.